Okay, so today I'm going to explain why I've been using a VPN for like over 7 years to learn Korean. And I'm going to explain right now what I'll cover in today's episode. So basically, I'm going to explain what a VPN is, why I've been using VPN, specifically NordVPN, but why I've been using VPNs for over 7 years to learn Korean and other languages too. And so this video is for anyone learning any foreign language that's not their mother tongue, but I speak Korean, so obviously that's probably why you're here now. I'm going to explain also why you should use a VPN and why I recommend specifically NordVPN. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a challenge, okay? So basically, oh, yeah. And this is the I Speak Korean Pretty Well podcast. My name's John. And on this podcast, I don't speak Korean. If you want to see why I don't speak Korean, you could check the description of this episode below. And the video is linked there. The episode's linked there. So you can understand why the ridiculous name of this podcast is the name that it is, but also why I don't actually speak Korean on this podcast. So basically, let's start. Okay. What's a VPN? A VPN basically, like the most simple version of what a VPN is, it basically is an app or a piece of software. You could just download it on your phone or download it on your computer. And when you turn it on, it tells your phone or it tells your computer or your laptop or your tablet that you're in another country, right? It basically just hides your IP address. It just hides where you actually are in the world for safety. And this was originally made so that you could be like, for cybersecurity, right? Because like people could hack your stuff. So basically the idea of a VPN originally, and I'm going to tell you why it's so freaking useful for language learners. It's like, it's a sin to not use this. But basically, it was originally made for cybersecurity. And so the way it works is you could just turn it on and it will basically hide your location. But you can choose a country that you want your phone, laptop, tablet, or computer to think that it's in, so that when you turn the VPN on, you're actually let's just say it's like your phone, for example. If you use a VPN on your phone, right, you just turn the app on, your phone now thinks you're in whatever country you chose. So let's just choose Korea, for example. Let's say I turn my VPN on and I click South Korea. Now all of a sudden, my phone thinks I'm in South Korea. Okay, why is this like just literally the one of the most important things that you could do as a language learner? I'm going to tell you that right now. So it gives you access to that country's content. I don't know if you've experienced this before, but depending on where you live in the world, and let's say you don't live in South Korea right now and you're learning Korean, or let's say you're learning multiple languages, right? But you only live in one country, right? Or let's say you're traveling and you want access to whatever content you want. It's not always possible because you're actually restricted to only see the content that that country is giving you. So for example, US Netflix, right, has a whole catalog of shows and movies you can watch. And let's use Korean cinema, for example. If you're in the US, like me right now, I'm in the US, right? And I'm recording this episode right now here in the US. If you go to Netflix, there's maybe like 30 or 40 Korean movies. That's it. There's like nothing there, right? And if you've watched the I Speak Korean podcast or listened to this for a decent amount of time, the most important thing that we can do to learn a new language is actually just immerse in the content as much as possible. Constantly immerse, constantly watch. Listening is great, but we really got to watch more than anything, right? Without subtitles. But if you're here in the US and you go to, turn on Netflix right now from the US, for example, you're going to be limited to like what Korean content is out there. So for example, like movies wise, I think there's only like 30 to 40 Korean movies that you could watch on Netflix here in the US. And that's ridiculous because there's so many Korean movies that are available. But if you're living in the US, that's all you have access to, right? But if you turn on your VPN, right? If you turn on, and I recommend NordVPN, and the description, there is a discounted affiliate link below where if you click on that, you get a discount and you could trial it for like I think basically 30 days. And if you don't like it, you could just cancel and then you won't be charged. But if you turn on your VPN, then all of a sudden, and you choose South Korea, for example, all of a sudden you have access to every single movie and show on Netflix Korea, not Netflix US, Netflix Korea. This is like one of the main reasons why a VPN is so unbelievably powerful, because this is the first reason. There's a couple more reasons that I'm going to list below, so pay attention really. It'll be a game changer. You're going to be like, wait a minute, what? Let me try this like right away. Like after this episode, you're like, I need to try this right away. And so yeah, okay. Let's backtrack a tiny bit. So the issue with a lot of people is that they try to watch stuff without subtitles and they say, oh, it's boring, it's not fun, there's no good content out there, right? But there's a lot of good Korean content out there. I've personally watched over like 300 Korean movies without subtitles to learn Korean, right? As a part of my daily regimen. Like I was always there was a period where I was just watching boatloads of movies, like one movie a day, no subtitles, just to immerse. And the issue was, I was like, yo, wait a minute. I can't, there's no more movies on Netflix and I'm in New York. So what do? Did a little research. Oh, VPN. You get a VPN, all of a sudden, you just turn that bad boy on and then you open up your Netflix app, for example, and now you're in South Korea. Because, right, if you're in South Korea, their market is what? Korean people, right? Koreans watch South Korean Netflix. So you turn that on, and the entire Netflix catalog changes. It's no longer like what's recommended for Americans, it's what's recommended for Koreans. And so because of that, there's going to be boatloads more of content, bad English, poor English, whatever. There's going to be so much more content. It is unbelievable. So first of all, if you're someone who's just like, oh, I can't find fun content in Korean, and I know I have to watch a lot without subtitles, but it's not like fun. Try a VPN, because you'll just be shocked at how much content is actually accessible with the apps that you already use. Right now, here's the second thing. Oh, and basically why I recommend NordVPN as like the VPN, because there's a lot of different VPN companies, right? But the reason I recommend NordVPN is because I've used a lot of them over the years, but NordVPN just tends to be, in my personal opinion or a personal experience, the best with Netflix. And I'm a big Netflix guy, right? I like Netflix. I like long form content. And so other VPNs, in my experience, really haven't worked that well with Netflix. Like it gets choppy, it loses connection. It's kind of NordVPN's pretty big now. You know, over the years, it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And so it just works really well with Netflix specifically. And obviously with all the other apps too. But like when Netflix doesn't work, it's kind of annoying because I like to use Netflix a lot. That's just kind of my style. So that's why I specifically recommend NordVPN. That's why I've been using it for like over like 7 years now. But there's more to why VPNs in general are just game changing for language learners, especially when you're trying to immerse, but you can't get in the time. Okay, here we go. This is the game changer. When you have a VPN on, right? When it's turned on, and you should just, if you're gonna download it and you're gonna use it, just have it turned on for like the next 2 months. Okay, make sure it's just turned on all the time. Just have it turned on all the time to South Korea if you're learning Korean. If you're learning Japanese, have your VPN turned on to Japan. Have it turned on to Russia if you're learning Russian. Whatever the language you're using, it doesn't matter. Just have it turned on to that country. And what happens next, what I'm about to explain next, will for sure, I feel like 90% of people watching this video, if you haven't already used a VPN extensively, it will change your life. Okay, here we go. It seems so silly, but if your VPN is turned on, then all of the ads, every single ad that you get across all your apps are in that country's language because it thinks you're in that country, right? So let's say YouTube, for example, or Spotify, for example, or like Apple Podcasts. If your VPN is on and let's say you're watching YouTube, right? You're watching YouTube, right? To watch a video in English because you're not putting in the hours, and that happens, right? Sometimes you just want to like decompress and not learn the language that you're learning. But let's say you go to put on a video and it's in English, but there's an ad, Guess what? Now, if your VPN was turned on to South Korea, that ad is in Korean for a Korean audience. And you are forced to watch that and hear that in your target language. Why this is amazing is because there's something about the psychology of like, okay, now I'm gonna learn Korean, so now I'm gonna watch this video. It can feel like a decent amount of pressure, even if it's only gonna be a 5-minute video. When you don't have an option and when it's forced on you, like in an ad form, there's two things that happen. One, you go, oh, what the heck? Korean. That's so cool. And it's advertised, it's like commercials from another country, which are for some reason just so fun. And then 3, it's only lasting for like 20 or 30 seconds. So like there's like almost zero pressure. There's zero pressure to have to watch it, to have to listen to it. And this is so incredibly powerful. So what I would recommend is this. Download NordVPN with the affiliate link below. Get your discount through my link, right? If you don't like it, just cancel. That's fine. You don't have to use it. But have it turned on for like the next 2 months, like next 1 month, like, 2 months, 3 months, and just have it turned on all the time. If you have YouTube Premium, cancel YouTube Premium and allow ads to be on. If you have Spotify Premium, cancel your Spotify Premium so you can allow ads to be on. And what will happen is you'll just be like naturally living your life and you won't even realize it. You'll be like, you'll go in your car, you'll be on, or, walk into class or going to work, whatever it is that you do. And you're like listening to Spotify, listening to songs that you like. They might be in English. And all of a sudden an ad pops up and it's in Korean. And you're like, what? Wait a minute. What? This is sick. Okay, cool. And your focus gets laser sharp for like that, like 15 seconds. Cause it's like different, right? When you're watching YouTube in the video, same thing's going to happen. Ads literally will show you how little pressure there is when you're not trying to force the language on you. And instead you're just trying to like make it part of your daily life. And so I've experienced this personally, like when I have my Japanese VPN, like my VPN turned on to Japanese to Japan, and I'm like driving in the car, and then and I'm listening to like music, and all of a sudden like a Japanese ad comes out. I'm like, what? Oh, damn! I gotta keep like learning Japanese. Why wasn't I putting in the work the other day? This is awesome. And then it like slowly motivates you and like becomes a part of your everyday life. And so, for example, I had the VPN on, and on YouTube for like a month straight, there was a Japanese ad for Airbnb. And it was using the song from Toy Story, You Got a Friend in Me, right? That was the song because I recognized the song. But like the ending of that ad, every time it was Kimi wa tomodachi. Kimi wa tomodachi, right? And I can hear it, and you hear it and you watch it, and then it just starts to build little small crumbs of the language for you where you don't have to think about anything. And the best part is like if you're doom scrolling, right? Let's say like it's at the end of your day and you're like on Instagram or like YouTube Shorts and you're scrolling, right? They're always popping up annoying ads that no one cares about. All of a sudden they're in Korean or whatever language it is that you're speaking. It's like exciting. It's fun because you've put no work and you actually didn't dedicate anything to it. And all of a sudden, boom, now it's a part of your daily life. And these like small little interactions really, really, really like I've subjectively speaking, I've like had like such great motivation through just this alone. And so, yeah, that's like kind of like what I wanted. And that's why I've been using, a VPN, specifically NordVPN, for over like 7 years. And by the way, this is not a paid promotion. So I have an affiliate link below, right? Which just means, like in the description of this episode, which just means if you click on the link and then you were like, you know what? Yeah, let me sign up for like a month, right? And you can use whatever plan. It could be basic, it could be ultra, super premium, doesn't matter. They're all gonna work for our purposes as language learners, right? To get access to the different countries' content and or the ads. But I've still to this point, you guys know I have like a bunch of different YouTube channels, right? Like I have like 2 pickleball channels now. One's in English, one's in Korean. I have a channel introducing New York to a Korean audience. I have like a whole bunch of channels. And so eventually, I think I will do some sponsored sort of videos where a company will actually pay me to like do a review of a product or something like that. Like I can see myself doing that in the future, but I've done YouTube since 2020, right? And as of recording this video, check the date and timestamp. I have still not once in my entire social media career done a paid promotion ever, not once ever. Never. Because I think it just kind of ruins, I think it can ruin the, what's the word? Like the integrity of the content, right? Because now you're making a video for specific, like you have to use specific words, specific phrases that the company wants you to put in. But I'm just like, okay, I've been using NordVPN for over 7 years, and this is like literally one of the best tricks that anybody who's learning a language can do, right? Like this is like all my friends who are I'm like, dude, just get a VPN right now. And if you don't even watch content, if just the ads start seeping into your subconscious, I promise you'll see what I'm saying, right? And so I'm like, okay, so I go on their website and I see that they have an affiliate program. An affiliate program, yeah, you basically get a special link, and then if people click on that link and subscribe to their app or like their app through your link, you get like a percentage of it, right? So yes, if you get NordVPN through the link below, I will get a percentage of like that that payment, I guess you could say, but it's not a paid promotion, right? Like I could just like take this video down whenever. I don't have to keep it up for a certain amount of time. NordVPN is not saying, hey, John, you have to say these words and we're going to give you like 300 or 400 or like $2,000 or $7,000. It's none of that. Cause like, I don't like that, right? Like I said, in the future, I probably will end up doing that with certain companies. But when it comes to the language stuff, you guys know it's like Duolingo, like all of those, they're just so bad. And every time they come to me with like a paid promotional opportunity, like a sponsorship, I'm like, you guys haven't even seen my content. Why are you asking me to promote your company, your app? And I'm literally saying you guys are the types of apps that ruin language learning experiences. Like most people don't like really do their due diligence when it comes to, like trying to like reach out. I don't know most, I shouldn't say most. There are in the language learning world, both Korea and both in America, based on my experience, a lot of these companies don't like actually do their due diligence. They just like will just like spam a bunch of creators and be like, hey, we'll pay you to promote our app, test our app. And not all of them are bad. I've considered some of them. I'm considering a couple of them, but I'm very slow moving when it comes to that, because it's like I have so many things I already want to say, and I don't need a paid promotion to do that. But when it comes to like an app that I've been using for this long, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to recommend this anyway, and there's a link that would give me a little bit of a commission, that's cool. That's an affiliate link, right? Cool. Why not? But so anyway, that was a little tangent. But anyway, here's what I challenge you to do. Try it. And just see over like the course of like the next like 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, if the ads alone in your target languages, target language of your country. Oh my God, I don't know how to speak anymore. Just try it for like a month. Cancel all your subscriptions for like if you have YouTube Premium or if you have Spotify Premium, and allow ads to just be a part of your daily life in those apps, and have your VPN on at all times, and just see how fun it is to let ads come in. And then, yeah, when you're actually doing the hard work, so to speak, of learning the language by immersing and watching and listening, turn on your VPN, have it on, go to Netflix, see that there's a bajillion options now that didn't exist beforehand if you're not living in the country of your target language. And yeah, that's basically what we have for today. And if you want to watch or listen to the next episode, click the next episode. That's going to pop up right here. Okay.